Hey guys, Jonathan here, and LEGO just released a new BrickHeadz Batman 8-in-1 set. This retails for $25 with 325 pieces. Well, as you can see here, I bought 8 copies of the set so that we could take a look at every single Batman BrickHeadz that you could possibly build in the set. But the question I want to answer in this video is, do you actually need 8 copies of the set to build all 8? Because, I'll just jump to the spoiler section, there are an insane amount of leftover pieces from buying all 8. So I got really curious to think, could you actually accomplish all 8 builds with less than 8 sets? So in this video, I'll answer that and go ahead and rank and review every single BrickHead you can build with this set. So let's get into it. Okay, so as I said, we are going to rank these as we go, and unfortunately, the LEGO Batman movie version is my least favorite. The reason being is, we basically got a BrickHeadz that's almost identical to this 7 years ago for the LEGO Batman movie. Now, if you missed out on that, then of course this is a great opportunity to add this version of the Batman BrickHeadz to your collection, but considering I already have one, again, that's basically identical, it just doesn't excite me all that much. It also has the least amount of detail, just having printing on the belt and the 1x4 with the Batman logo, but the eyes do glow in the dark. It's hard to see with my studio lights, so I guess you'll just have to take my word for it, and we won't go over it with everyone, but this is what the stand looks like. It's always been kind of funny how they put a BrickHeadz face on there that the figure just stands on, and then you kind of have your base plate for him to be on. Other than that, it's a pretty simplistic build, not really too much to say about it, and unfortunately, he does rank at bottom on the list for me. Now, this may take some of you by surprise, but the BVS Armored Up Batman is my next least favorite. I just realized I put a piece in the wrong place here. It actually looks kind of cool with that strap there, but technically it's not supposed to be there. Haha, laugh it up in the comments. Anyways, I don't know, this one just doesn't excite me quite like the rest of the ones on the list. It is very bulky, it has great armor on the shoulders, and just makes him look really bulked up, and I do like that. Of course, the grappling gun and batarang is very cool too, but for whatever reason, this one just doesn't excite me quite like the rest of them on the list, and as you'll see, I lean more toward the older Batman styles as well as the comic books, so let's take a look at one of those up next. Alright, here we have the Bronze Age Batman. I just love the colors on this one, even though he's technically number 6 on the list. It's still a really cool figure regardless. I like it a lot. We've got the Batarang there, and this is the one that the set comes with an instruction booklet for, and all of the other Batmans you actually can only build using the app, the LEGO Builder app, so that was a bit of an annoying experience for me, to be honest. This one does earn some points because you could build it the good old-fashioned way, so to speak, with good old-fashioned instructions, but it is a bit of a bummer. I should also point out that the 1x4 brick in the center is actually double-sided, so the Adam West logo is on the other side. So remember, one of the questions we're trying to answer through this is how many Batmans would you need to buy to build them all? Well, you would need at least 2 right off the bat because this one is double-sided. So if you want to build Bronze Age and Classic TV series, you need at least 2 since that piece is shared between them. Alright, the Michael Keaton Batman comes in 5th place. Now, this is no hate on Michael Keaton. He's one of my favorite Batmans ever. It's just that I don't think that this model translates super well beyond the logo and that chest piece there looking like Michael Keaton. I just don't know that it translates super well to telling you that this is Michael Keaton. Beyond that, I mean, there's not really much to say with these BrickHeadz, right? I think that the cape is built nice, and they built it with a little extra shape on the side there to give it dexterity, but beyond that, it's basically just a black, yellow, and gold Batman, and I just don't like it quite as much as the others that we get to on the list. At number 4, we have the Dark Knight Batman, and what I like about this one is how you can see the belt go the whole way around compared to the Keaton one where the belt is covered up by the cape. And of course, I grew up with Christian Bale as my Batman, because his movies came out all throughout my childhood, and it was just so fun growing up with him that he definitely earned some nostalgia points. Now remember, that 1x4 in the center that has the Bat logo on it has the Keaton Batman logo on the other side. So if you want to build both of these side by side, you definitely need at least 2. And the other thing, just keeping track, remember this one is double-sided, so by the time you get 2, you would have 2 of these. So in theory, you would have enough pieces to build several at the same time, but not quite the whole way through. And I'll kind of explain that at the end, but right now it's not looking too good for being able to build every Batman with just a few copies of the set. All right, in third place, we've got Robert Pattinson's The Batman. I love how they inverted the eyes to make him look sad. It just cracks me up so much. And the 1x4 in the center, flipped around, is actually shared with the animated series Batman, so once again, just keep that in mind for us doing our math. I really like the way that the cape is just kind of flat. It's very similar to what we got with the Dark Knight Batman. So similar, in fact, that it uses the exact same design. But beyond that, not too much different here to say. They do expose the cheeks on the side, which, let's compare it to Michael Keaton. You could see a little bit more of Pattinson's face, and I think that they did a really good job with the ears up top, and I just like the color scheme of this one a lot, which lands him at number 3 on the list. At number 2, we have Adam West from the classic TV series Batman. I love that the eyebrow piece is printed on here, and it just brings so much emotion to these. When we don't really have a mouth or nose, it just really brings this one to life. I love the way that the utility belt is built, and of course the cape is really nice too, with the cheese slopes down there to kind of show the jaggedness of the cape, and it looks really, really awesome all around. Not too much to say about it, but I love the way that all of the colors are mixed together to build this, and I think it earns a worthy spot at number 2. And at number 1, we have the animated series Batman. I think that this one is so cool. The color of the belt, the Batman logo, the grappling hook, and the Batarang in his hand, as well as the blue on the inside, black on the outside cape, with the spike jagged edges at the bottom, just makes for a really dynamic version. Now, we've looked at 8 BrickHeadz from Batman, and I do think that this is a very ambitious way to do BrickHeadz, where, you could build multiple models with just one set, but at the same time, I feel like all of these BrickHeadz could have just been their own individual set, rather than almost tripling the price of a BrickHeadz, all the way to the fact that you can only build one at a time with each set. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and wrap up the video and do the final math to see if you can build all 8 with less than 8 sets. Well, guys, unfortunately, you technically cannot build all 8 exactly the way the instructions tell you without 8 copies of the set. There are certainly ways that you can circumvent that by using those drape bricks that have studs on the side if you have any extras from your collection, or possibly getting creative with how you place them in the BrickHeadz, but at the very least, you would definitely need these 1x4 flat pieces that go over his mouth, because there's only 1 per set, so you would need however many extras for that. And the base plate that the BrickHeadz stand on, there's only 1 of those per set too. So if you don't care about the base plate on the bottom, and you could supplement that 1x4 flat tan piece, you could theoretically build multiple versions of this BrickHeadz with only a couple copies of the set. Now, how many copies you would need all depends on which Batmans you want to build, and so on and so forth. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about the ranking. Let me know how many of these you plan on picking up, if you plan on picking up any at all, and I'll see you guys on the next video.